Hey everyone, welcome back. Tom Zakvea back again for Kult of Athena. Today we're going to look at the Ragnar Lothbrok axe. This is the functional axe. We also have the one that's the limited edition and the regular edition from the show Vikings. This one is an actual one you can use for chopping, moderate chopping. I wouldn't try to cut a tree down with it, but at the same time it is sharpened. These come moderately sharp. Kind of a rough finish to it on the flat of the axe. So the blade length on this, the actual cutting edge itself, Ryan sharpened this one, so it's pretty sharp. You can add a sharpening service to it, just make sure you contact customer service ahead of time. I believe the length of this edge is about 3¼ inches, the actual cutting edge itself. All right, then overall length, we have 25 5/8 inches. So pretty much the length of like a shorter sword, or like if you could think like a cold steel machete, that's pretty much what the length of this is. To give you an idea, since a lot of people know like what kind of length that is for it. So we'll notice on the shaft of it, this is a hardwood shaft, of course. This is all wrapped with leather. And the top of this is glued on with a shaft, and then this is somewhat decorative. I wouldn't really consider the leather to be the primary attachment. It's more of just like friction, like how like old school spearheads where you just kind of like knock it on, or like axes that don't have a wrap. You kind of just, knock it with the hammer to put it on. Kind of primitive, but hey, this is a very primitive tool, so what do you expect, right? So this leather runs all the way down, and then it ties off right here into the grip, which you can see if you watch Vikings, that is, you'll be more familiar with this. If you're not, this extra grip is added on the axe that Ragnar Lothbrok uses, or at least the guy who plays Ragnar Lothbrok on the show Vikings, and it does add a significant amount of grip in comparison to if it was a skinnier handle. If it was just the wood, it would be kind of slippery, especially if you had gloves on, or like if your hands get sweaty. So I'd say this is definitely a big help on the grip. How far down is the grip on it, right? For proper balance, at least how it feels for me personally, it's about 1 fist length up the weapon. So like I said before, these come moderately sharp. Meaning, not for this one specifically, but Ryan sharpened this one, so it's pretty damn sharp. When you get these, like when I unpackage them for orders and everything, they would be sharp enough to like split wood with a little bit of like extra force with hacking through it, through like if you're chopping like firewood or something. It would be really good for reenactment, or if you just need, just absolutely need the axe that Ragnar Lothbrok uses, especially with the new season being out and everything too. I've seen a lot of these going through the warehouse and everything, and they're really cool. I like this one a lot. I think I like it better than the one with the plaque that you can hang up, is because you can actually use this one. The other one is, I think it's stainless steel. I don't really know the steel quality offhand right now. It's really cool, but I just like being able to actually use this one as a functional weapon for training and for cut testing. Something else to mention, other than this being moderately sharp and being like it's a single-handed axe. I mean, basically fit one hand on there. If you needed extra power, you could always reinforce it on the back of the wrist, or if you went more like a baseball grip. That's purely personal preference, honestly. But another thing is, this thing is about 2 pounds, 7 ounces. So just like all axes, combative axes or utility axes, really, it's very forward heavy, of course, because the steel is going to be a lot heavier than the actual wood or even the leather. But you feel it in your hand. Of course, it's contoured for the chopping motion, any kind of hacking you'd be doing. More advanced stuff, if you're talking about like technique, like martial arts technique, there are hooking things you can do with hooking with it, but really it's just a simple It's a simple hacking weapon that was used for utility and obviously for combat. So this axe is labeled as battle ready, meaning that any type of like moderate chopping and moderate cut testing you'd be doing with this, I mean, clearly this thing will go through a water bottle pretty easily. I would be very careful. Do not really try to chop down like a big tree with it, other than the fact that the tree didn't do anything to you. I just don't want anything ricocheting back. So make sure you're cutting things that are when it's battle ready, that is, of course. Make sure any of your chopping or your water bottle cutting is through soft and light targets, and you can go all the way through the object, the inanimate object that you would be testing your weaponry through. Just so you know, all that force, if you're trying to chop a tree down, you know, depending on, you know, the quality of the product and all that force is to go back into your hand, and you wouldn't want the shaft to split or, you know, the blade to chip. I mean, you know, we're talking about just aesthetics as well. So for this one, we're actually not going to do any cutting with it, any hacking right now. We're going to have to revisit that because we just got a bunch of snow in Chicago, and I don't have anybody to really film it outdoors right now. But what we are going to do today, we're just at my house right now. What we are going to do today is just go through a quick striking exercise. Keep in mind, if you have a training axe or if you have like a very, very dulled out axe, you can go ahead and do this exercise at your own discretion, meaning that make sure there's nothing around you that you would bump into, any of your pets, any kids, or your couch. Don't cut your couch in half doing this. Just use common sense, use obvious safety precautions, and just want to share a little quick form with you that you can check out. Especially if you're watching Vikings, this will look very similar to a lot of the gross motor skills you would use with hacking with an axe, you know, in a martial arts context or in like a reenactment context, and honestly, just to have a little bit of fun. So any further comments or any other questions you have regarding the Ragnar Lothbrok axe, Lords of Battle makes this one. Forgot to mention that. Lords of Battle makes this one. Any further questions you have or comments on this axe, maybe you have this axe already, let me know in the comments below how it's performed for you. And then we're going to do this quick form right now. Check it out. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and then I'll come right back. All right, let's do it. Okay, so in this part of the video, we're going to look at the striking combination on the X pattern, or the 1 and 2 strikes. So we're going to have the hand pulled back. The back of the weapon is touching the shoulder on the forehand, and also on the backhand. So what's really cool, to me it's really cool at least, about this X pattern, this striking pattern, is you see it all across different martial arts. It doesn't matter if this was an arming sword or even some styles of rapier that will slash. You'll see them use this diagonal X pattern a lot. So I'm just going to demo it first and then have you take a look at it and go from there. So if we're standing here, right in front, got 1 and 2. And I'm allowing, of course, because I'm training indoors right now, just make sure that, you know, you check the area that you're training in. It's kind of like there's a blizzard outside right now, so I'm not going to be training outside with my camera, but, you know, when you're, make sure you look up, look to your sides, make sure you have a few feet of distance, so that way the weapon can clear, and you're not going to hit, you know, the family pet, smash your new coffee table that you just bought. I really wouldn't want that to happen to you. This is really, you know, for entertainment purposes, and also just, you know, get a good workout in. That's what's great about the axe, is it's got some weight to it. Got to use your strength, coordination, build some endurance. It's a lot of fun. Alright, so now you've seen it from the front view. Take a view to the side, get a better idea of what this looks like. Obviously, if you had a double-sided axe, you wouldn't touch the chamber. Woo. And then we'll do a back view as well. So we'll notice that, one, the weapon is very high. large motion on the slashing here, on the 1, and on the 2. The axe is actually covering your head, the middle of the axe here, and the shaft on the backhand as well. That way you can deliver the strike with the axe, with the edge of the axe, while you still protect your head. You'll see it rotate the body, rotate with the strike. Feet are locked in, not swagging the feet. If you've watched my Albion Kingmaker video, the striking exercise one, this looks very similar. And then later on, you can go into different striking patterns. You can even go into the double force, hit with the side of the axe, start going into advanced manipulations. And it's a lot of fun. So if you're interested in purchasing the Ragnar Lothbrok axe by Lords of Battle, this one is available at cultofathena.com. But just as a little shortcut, you can click the link below in the description below this video to go right to the website if you're looking to purchase this one. To add a sharpening service, if it's not available on the website, contact customer service at info@cultofathena.com prior to purchasing it. That way you can add the sharpening service as long as it's it's allowed in your area of the world, wherever you're purchasing it at. Sometimes it isn't. It's going to depend entirely on customs. And, just check with customer service and they'll be able to help you out. In the meantime, though, leave a comment below on what you liked about this axe. Reviews are going to be a lot more consistent now that we're back on the ball with getting these out to you. So thanks for your support. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this video. I hope to talk to you guys soon.